Look dar, friends. My name is Dragonface. I'm about to tell you a story not even my closest friends know. I'm headed through Darnassus, back to my hometown of Shadowclan. These guards wouldn't be attacking me if they knew who I truly was. They used to ask me for training advice, but that's okay. I've changed a lot over the years, and we are enemies today. I know you are wondering how an orc can be headed to a place outside of Dortor to speak of his early years. This tale I'm going to tell you is so unbelievable, even I don't understand how it was possible, but I lived it, so listen close. I was born a night elf. I chose the path of a hunter, and like most hunters, I needlessly moved way too much while in combat. Here in Shadowglen, I lived in the great tree, Aldrasil. My name was Embrezi. I was agile and strong. I could even do a flip while running, and blend in with my surroundings if I didn't move. I grew up and became a strong beastmaster. Against my father's advice, I joined a guild. The name of the guild was Soldiers of Sin in the territory of Warsaw. I quickly rose in ranks to be lead hunter. My guild leader's name was Razorblade, and he was a human rogue. I was main puller for my raid. I was fully decked out in Dragonstalker apparel, for my guild was successful on many raids. Our fame and my fame stretched far and wide. We mounted Anexia's head in Stormwind. We even defeated the dragon without anybody standing in the whelps and receiving minus DKP. I studied combat books in Stormwind very readily. I even explained successful strategies to the battle masters that I had thought up of all by myself. Strategies they had never thought of, such as press M plus think about where you should be and go there. And this one, not to string in one by one. Instead, wait a few seconds to group up and then go in as a group. They were so impressed by this that they wanted me to help the mages in training. The king suggested that I talk to Archmage Malin, and he would direct me from there. The next day, I went to see Archmage Malin. Malin said he was expecting me, and it was King's orders for me to help explain to the mages how to better duel a hunter. As I spoke to Archmage Malin, he directed me to visit Lalu, who was one of the mage trainers. Malin explained to me Lalu was up in the tower through the portal, so I proceeded as directed. Lalu was always angry. She told me to spar with her pupils at noon the next day. Lalu was an idiot. She's almost as dumb as this portal trainer who has an open portal that does nothing. The next day, I'd go out to spar with the mages around noon. I told them when dueling a hunter, if they get behind in the fight, they should just polymorph the hunter, blink away, use the rocket boots to run to the nearest paladin, who can then help them bubble and hearth. The mages were practicing this polymorph and run technique on me. It was no problem for me. I've been polymorphed plenty of times. Anyway, this one mage had been talking to a group of warlocks and was stupid enough to listen to them because Lalu is an idiot and didn't warn her mage trainees about warlocks and their hate for mages. So these two warlocks convinced this mage to alter her polymorph spell a little bit, telling her it would make it last longer and be a quicker cast. She thought it was gonna make her famous among the mages. Instead, this happened. I turned into the black sheep. After that, nothingness. Only darkness. It would be weeks before I came out of the black sheep. It took me years to regain my memory as Breezy. As I came back into consciousness, before I was able to open my eyes, a man with a beautiful voice started talking to me.
Though Lady Sylvanas and her Forsaken finally took vengeance upon their hated enemy, the Lich King, their dark crusade in Northrend proved costly. Betrayed by Grand Apothecary Putrus at the Battle of Wrathgate, the Forsaken's devious plague of death was unleashed upon both the Alliance and the Horde to calamitous effect. Unbeknownst to Sylvanas, Putrus and his demonic ally, Veramathras, had taken control of the Undercity. As a result, the Forsaken were wrongly blamed for the traitor's atrocities. Though the Undercity was eventually retaken, Sylvanas and her followers still bear the weight of Putrus' sins. Mistrusted by the other members of the Horde, the Forsaken must now prove their loyalty to the cause and redeem themselves from their supposed treachery. To this end, Sylvanas has bolstered her defenses within the Tirisfal Glades and readied her undead forces for any contingency. As one of the Forsaken, you must use your cunning and viciousness to slay any who would pose a threat to Sylvanas' rule, be they human, undead, or otherwise.
As I opened my eyes, I was terrified by what I saw in front of me. Instinctively, I reached for the knives which were close by. I tried to speak, but saw my own hand, which was now only bone, and panicked instead. Horrified, I simply ran. Later, I calmed down and started to listen to what others around me were saying. I was directed to the Undercity for answers. While running around the Undercity like a noob, I ran into a warlock trainer. I was interested in the dark arts, so I dropped the knives and picked up a staff. I started to regain some of my memory, though it was very sketchy. The only thing I could remember was my feelings of hatred towards mages without the details of why. The trainer told me that was great because mages are bad against a warlock and their dark magics. They simply have mage trick spells which allow them to fare better against our lesser-brained citizens such as warriors, rogues, and death knights. And so I trained to be a warlock. I grew in strength, and over time became very famous. I met many leaders of the Horde, and several guild leaders knew me personally. One day, while meeting with a demon trader at Orgrimmar, I decided to say hello to Grandul. Surprisingly, he had some rude things to say to me. He said the Forsaken are weak, the Orc Warlocks are stronger. He said Orc Warlocks are more hardy against stuns, their pets do more damage, and they have better burst because of blood fury. I was infuriated with him, but before I did anything, he told me he knew a way he could make me an orc. Thinking about my experiences, I did notice the orcs to be stronger than the Forsaken, so I took him up on his offer. I was directed to Dr. Herbert Halsey in the Undercity at the Apothecarium. I knew Dr. Halsey was a sick mother of pearls, and as I entered, something didn't seem right, but I went ahead with it anyway and spoke to Dr. Halsey. The doctor said, "It's $15, gold, for a race change. Thank you for your money. Now go over there behind the black gate and wait. I'll be with you shortly." He injected me with a serum. And again, nothingness. Only darkness. This time, as I awoke, I felt the strength of the orcs. My skin was hardy and tough, and blood fury felt amazing. When I was Forsaken, they used to call me simply the Forsaken One. But now an orc, Grandul wanted to give me a new name worthy of my race. My memory of past lives and races was still dark at this hour. However, I knew I hated mages, but was not sure why. I fought and dueled them every chance I got to exert my superior magical strength. All the mages began to fear me. One said he fears me more than dragons. Another said, "His face is the face of my fears." Thus my true identity came forth as Dragonface. My name was solidified and revered by guildmasters and RPG leaders alike. One day I woke up and I remembered everything. I remembered my life as an Alliance hunter. I remembered that stupid mage Lalu and the black sheep. I remembered being a rogue, and why I became a warlock now became perfectly clear. It was time to exact my revenge on Lalu in Stormwood Castle. I flew right in. I cared nothing for my own safety. There was nothing but bloodshed. This act only amplified my name. I am Dragonface, and these are my chronicles.